suddenly Lash is out of the option, OD is out of the option, which instantly means that you can pick other heroes such as PL perhaps and cover them with only one ban. AA, kind of similar, right?
Yeah, for some reason, Nyx isn't doing that much damage to the OD now with Mana Burn. It's still really good. You can gank him with Carapace and stun, even in the early parts of the game. But for some reason, I mean, there have been some changes. OD now doesn't steal Int, he steals Mana.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal, but I definitely agree with you when it comes to Nyx. You kind of don't want to play certain heroes against the Nyx. It's super, super annoying.
It's not even only the Mana Burn, it's the Carapace, right? The Carapace is conceptually, for me, the most broken spell in the game. You pop that Carapace, whatever is AoE around you, Radiance, any AoE spell, you get the free clean setup. It did hurt him though, the nerf to duration of the stun, right? Right now you can't really combo stun into Meteor Hammer as easily as you could a few weeks ago, but Nyx is still strong. However, these two teams have kind of ignored him for the majority of their drafts.
Would they continue to ignore it though? Because this is one of those save type heroes you're talking about where it's just a free setup, right? You disrupt a teammate, it's like, oh, I'm just going to wait here in my bug form ready to impale. So do you rate the Nyx higher now that you see that second pick coming in, Freak?
I'm not sure actually. I would have liked him even on the side of TNC, right? Because it's good against the Centaur, it's also good against Shadow Demon, but I'm not sure that you really want to leave the Centaur alone, and you usually want to lane him with the range position 4. So I don't see them picking up the Nyx. On the other side, the TNC might go for it.
Yeah, I wonder if Adroit perhaps will go back to their Sven. In a game versus a PL, it's much stronger than versus a Slark. It's actually a good win condition versus PL. I think eventually you do become stronger in that one-on-one carry versus carry matchup, right? But we'll see if they're disheartened with their first loss to go back to the Sven.
Yeah, and Shadow Demon is actually a hero that I really like with the Centaur. Centaur, now of course he maxes the Retaliate, but in the later stages of the game, the burst potential between these two is just insane. You go for the Soul Catcher, stun into Double Edge, it's just way, way too much damage. So that can be something we see, and it's pretty weird to me that they pick a PL into a Shadow Demon, right? You just disrupt the PL and you have your own army that's just as strong. We know how strong the illusions are. It's really, really weird that they still go... actually, last game it was Adroit. They still go for PL in this game against the Shadow Demon.
But we saw that comparison, right? It's like the PL and then last time it was the Centaur and the Rubik. This hero doesn't suffer against the PL at all in the lane. I
love this ban and pick instantly. Razor ban into a troll pickup. I think it's exactly what you need to do versus a PL. You cover that troll pick with the Razor ban, you instantly pick the troll. It's just a matchup that's also pretty good. Probably a bit safer, and I think overall troll is in a much better state than Sven is at the moment, so picking that troll makes more sense.
Do you go for a Battle Fury? Do you go for a Battle Fury as a troll here? I feel like he's good against PL either way because of the axes, right? Low cooldown, you don't really care about the Doppelganger that much, but do you go for a Battle Fury since
I'm not even sure, honestly, because I have seen different item balls coming from different players. Battle Fury right now isn't half bad on troll.
Yeah.
Like a month ago, Battle Fury was dog, but at the moment I think it's much better and it's a viable option for you to get.
And it's actually better against the PL when it comes to clearing the illusion, since it has been increased from 60% cleave on heroes to 70%. That's actually quite a bit.
They comboed the troll with the Magnus as well, old school combo right here coming up, as we will have that Empower with the troll. Not as strong as earlier as well. We're seeing many of these combos that were played before because they were really strong before. They aren't necessarily as strong right now, but it's still the same
mechanic is just strong. It doesn't matter that it has been nerfed.
And you were talking about Battle Fury, if he wants to buy it or not. Possibly not right now. With the Magnus in the game, you're not getting it.
Screw it, boys. There's a creeping smile on my face, and Ogre Magi's come in. Are we going to see the free Ogre Magi? Looks that way, right?
It looks like a 3 Ogre, yeah. It looks like an offlane Ogre, and then Mirana will be that position 4 covering him.
And the Ogre is actually pretty annoying against the Troll. When you get like level 5, and you start spamming your Fire Blast constantly on his head, even though like he's harassing you, right? It's really hard to play in, and you can get Fire Blast into an arrow and just die if you're like 60-70% HP. But then again, they do have a Shadow Demon, so
Yeah.
that's kind of the save that's gonna make this lane okay for the troll.
Does this feel like one of those heroes, like we were talking about Ring of Trask before, and heroes that's good on? Would that not just make the Ogre Magi unkillable in that lane?
I wouldn't say unkillable, because we have a Shadow Demon. He has to be aware of the poison stacks, but
It's a lot
brings
of
him
gold.
close to that.
I'm not so sure about Ring of Tarask, right? Because on Centaur it makes sense because you need the item. Overall on Ogre you're going for something different.
A little bit
Yeah, but it's
overkill,
really
maybe.
valuable.
Yeah, it is still, it does still give a lot of value. We said what,
600 gold
Yeah.
for 4.5 HP regen and like 200 HP.
It's still super valuable for a single item. As good as Ring of Health, perhaps, but we'll see. This is something that I've seen completely ignored from these two teams, and I stopped mentioning it. While yesterday, Mars was constant first pick or ban. And not only yesterday, for the last month, it's first pick or first ban. Also, one of the counters to the Centaur, old school counters, you used old school for the last 6 months since Mars is in, but you pop that Centaur ulti, you drop the arena, they can't really run away anywhere.
And this is actually a mid-Mars, right? It's gonna be Mars against the Void Spirit, since we do have an Ogre on 3. That's possibly how they're laning. I don't really see a Ogre mid, Mirana. No, not really gonna happen, right? And this is this a position 5 Magnus? Actually, what's happening here?
Ooh,
Okay,
could this be a 4 Void Spirit? I'm reluctant, unless it's like the Centaur 5 that we saw a long
It
time
could be
ago.
your 5 Magnus that was played long time ago, that's just running around empowered.
yeah, but I don't really like that.
Yeah,
with
it's
the
not as
empowered
strong
thing.
as
Yeah.
before, yeah.
I'd rather have 4 Void Spirit and 2 Magnus, but still that doesn't sound right either, so I'm not too stoked on this Adroit draft right now.
I mean, they've definitely thrown a curveball in there. Like TNC, it's a little bit more structured, a little bit more clear. The Ogre Magi was clearly going to be played in that free roll, is what they're thinking, but... Adroit, what are you doing? This can't be the Mag 5. Have we got casters that can maybe have some input? Any spicy ideas there, boys?
Well, hello
like
there.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be Shadow Demon 5, Magnus 4. Judging by the players, Ogre is gonna be playing position 3, and Mars will be mid.
Okay.
So we'll have that Shadow Demon covering the troll on the safe
Yeah,
lane.
that's
If
really good.
you will never have the opportunity to stun into arrow if there's disruption afterwards. Yeah.
Well, either way, it
Well,
sounds
if
like
you
an
use
interesting one.
disruption first, then that's the setup, you know.
Well, boys, it
Just
looks
start
like
griefing.
you've got a doozy. I think we'll let you take it away. Good luck and enjoy Game 3.
Thank you, we
thank you,
definitely
thank you.
will.
And while we wait for the action to start, I had a quick look at the current stretch goal, like how long is left for it until we get that EU versus CIS amount. I think it was about 5,000 away. So I think that only needs people in chat to donate like 20 or 25 cents if every single person did it. But in the thoughts of VP being next and Solo there, if everyone donated $3.22, we would get there a lot faster.
Whoa.
So, is it a lie? Like,
Nah, you're correct, absolutely. Man, I love math, even though I'm wrong 90% of the time, but I love math.
yeah.
Just the
I mean,
math
that's
with numbers, you know. I don't like the math with...
All the pictures and all that sort of stuff. So that's not good.
Yeah, with grades, failing.
Oh, yeah, that too. That's never good. We got some aggression coming here from TNC towards the bounty rune, but they're going to run into 3 Adroit heroes, and it's a pretty formidable lineup to have to run into. You got that Shadow Poison early on, which is going to start stacking up on these TNC heroes. Arn already has 4. He doppels out of it just to avoid the damage.
Shadow Demon should have used it instead of going for greedy. That should be around like 150 HP.
Well, someone was cliffed up on the high ground. I believe it was KP, so he had to come down here, and he's given the Bloodlust over to Tims, so just wanting to get some of that ranged harass out onto Natsumi here, and Boomy as well.
And knowing how Tims plays, he will have a lot of, you know, farm in this lane with the Bloodlust. He will harass these, I'm gonna say 1.5 melee hero, because Troll will most of the time be in the ranged form.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough ask for him. He's gone into the double Wraithband build to start off, just trying to max out his stats because you're gonna get KP trying to harass you as much as possible. Ooh, nearly getting the whirling axes onto Tim's to try and harass him down a bit more. Not gonna be the case though. What are your thoughts on this Mars v Void Spirit mid lane matchup?
Void Spirit definitely a strong laner, has a nice attack animation, but should be pretty even. I'm not a Mars player, but just judging by these two heroes, should be pretty even.
And he's actually chosen not to go for the Spear of Mars, just going for, you would think, the one value point into the Bulwark.
Yeah, getting a point in Bulwark early on when you're playing against a melee hero always feels good.
Feels good for Bristle Front, that's for sure.
Yep.
But I don't know, I've been kind of theory crafting something. Do you think it would be like decent to run a Mars position 4 where you put Bulwark there and then just use it to... Because it has that 70% chance to redirect projectiles, so if you use it to like stop a ranged core from securing melee creeps or something like that, or range creeps, then it'd be pretty value.
It could work. I mean, with the recent changes, we might just see Mars being played as 4, maybe even 5. I think this, I'm going to call it a new Dota, but after the recent patches, there's still a lot of stuff that is unexplored. Like Ice Frog is just keeping us on our toes and keeping things fresh.
Well, you say new Dota, right? But a lot of these picks seem very similar to like TI9, right?
Besides Void Spirit.
Oh, of course, yeah. One small exception. But you know, you see the PL, you see the Chen coming out, you see a lot of the Magnus, the Mirana.
I'm nothing against TI9, don't get me wrong. Dota there was top quality.
Mm-hmm.
I like the meta during TI9.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid one. Lots of even picks. That's the great thing we like to see. And you know, if that means that that's the meta that we're going to get back with a slight little change with these new heroes coming in, why not?
Yeah, I just want to see like heroes being balanced in terms of the like. There's no super overpowered picks. There's always going to be a couple of those, but you can ban them out, especially since we have like 4 bans in the first phase.
Mm-hmm. Oh, a little bit of lag coming through. Surprisingly not for Anna, even though he's playing from the Australian servers onto Southeast Asian ping. So not to make excuse for my countrymen, I think KP's actually back in Australia as well. So maybe that's a bit of a reason behind all this, why Adroit might be able to take this one out.
First real rune spawning, it's gonna be on bottom, double damage for Mirana.
Oof. He's going to run straight towards that bottom side of the map. I think maybe once he gets here, KP is going to give him that Bloodlust, and that's going to be a lot of harass coming through. Still a decent amount of regen left, though, on Boomy and Natsumi.
Yeah, mid lane pretty even as expected, 23 against 23 in terms of CS. Both heroes just farming. Maybe if Mars gets level 6 before with the arena, he might score a kill, but nah, I don't think so. He just wasted all of his mana, has a Soul Ring to work with, needs to bring Magos if he wants to keep playing aggressive on the mid lane. Like, we didn't see too many kills, especially in the second game. The score was 3-3, 15 minutes in.
It was ridiculous. I think it was nearly like 20 minutes in that it was still at that point, and I think maybe it might be a bit faster this time around just because March has picked up this Harpy Stormcrafter really early into the game, so he's constantly trying to harass out his, these opponents and heroes as much as he can, but that Ring of Tarask, it's doing work.
Is that the buff that we needed on the Ring of Tarask? I think a lot of the players will be picking that up, especially on the like off-lane strength core.
Yeah, I mean, very, very possible. You feel like you need to get it into exactly the right one. Chen's been caught out here by a disruption into a stun. March might still be okay. Will he get blocked by his own creep? The Shadow Poison, not quite enough to be able to pick him off. Having to use the slow onto Buccarino to be able to slow him down. Some body blocks coming through from Ana as well.
One is not enough.
Yeah, and in the meantime, they were actually able to get the kill onto the Mars in the mid lane. So, nicely done there by the Magnus. I think he must have skewered him back into the tower to get a lot of that damage through, and even with Tim's in the lane, wasn't enough to be able to make him survive.
Oh, you thought Hand of Midas is dead? KP is going for straight into Hand of Midas. I mean, if there's a hero that is allowed to buy Hand of Midas right now, it's Ogre.
Yeah, the one hero, in my opinion, that could buy it. Even like previous meta, people were doing it, and I was like, nah. But Ogre, he gets a pass.
What do you think about Arcana?
It's all right. I didn't purchase it myself, but it's a little bit of fun. I'm sure Slacks likes it.
It's hard to recognize which hero it is.
What happened to glance value? You know?
Yeah.
So pretty even across the board. Not really too much to talk about just yet, but you would have to think that some of these early item timings will start to come soonish. I think TNC again might be happy to be a bit more passive towards how they approach things. Again, going a straight mechanism on Chen, already having enough to pick up that chainmail if he needs to.
Once Ogre hits level 6, gets that multicast, has 3 points in Fire Blast, which means he wants to keep playing aggressive on this lane. If the arrow follows it up, it should be a kill.
Yeah. And, here we go. He's going to be able to farm underneath his tower, so very, very safe. Means that the rest of his heroes on the Dire side can just push forward a little bit more. Tim's picking up a nice little keen optic for himself. And here come those neutral items. We can see the rotations back to the jungle from Natsumi, and wow, they're getting a fair few actually.
Why are my allies so weak and pathetic?
Not liking this jungle and this lack of kills. You know, we don't want to turn into another MOBA. we gotta be aggressive. That is the C Dota way, especially.
Well, still not convinced. I'm a big fan of Tier 1. Southeast Asian Dota when they're playing against the other teams. As I said, I didn't get the chance to cast Southeast Asia Dota much. I'm always doing different regions. One of the reasons why I signed up to do the Southeast Asia to see, but you know, it's 1-0, 8 minutes in, guys.
Yeah, he's got to get a little bit more serious, you know. Oh, Boomy, nice little juke out there, using the skewer to escape this aggression onto the Tier 1 tower, but doesn't look like there's too much reactions here. They're pushing into the mid lane though. That Bloodlust on the tower is going to help a little bit, but got Natsumi hitting it with those fervor stacks. It's going to be doing a lot of work. Comes the Mars though, looking ready to channel his arena, perhaps? No? Backing off in the meantime. So maybe just seeing
plus multi-shot.
Ooh,
wow.
That'd be fancy. And down goes March. They didn't actually finish off that that bot tower just yet. Looks like TNC happy to start to stay around this outpost. Don't think they'll get the kill.
Connect.
Oh, very nice arrow. Perfect timing. Will they be able to finish him off though? He's getting very, very low, but no, not quite enough. He's got that Resonant Pulse as well, still absorbing a bunch of the physical damage, and he's going to be able to get away eventually. Still has 45 seconds on the TP though.
Let's see if they have another arrow. Mirana gave up.
Yeah. I think at some point, you know, it's not worth the time investment that's needed. He hasn't had a fantastic game to start off, and you can see here he's pretty confident that they're not going to continue to contest him walking into experience range if he could. But those trees that were cleared by the Magnus doesn't give him much room to play with.
Whenever I see Troll, it always feels good on paper, but in theory, this hero loses a lot of games. This game, I think they don't have a hero like who can kite that much. You have a Phantom Lancer with the Doppelganger, Mirana with the Leap. Other heroes, they need to stand still to deal damage. And there's no Yule Scepter builder.
No. Mac getting a little bit too confident as well, trying to go and farm in that lane, but getting picked off by the Mars Spear and God's Rebuke combo. They were talking about it on the panel slightly beforehand, and we were thinking, at least before the Magnus pickup, that was Battle Fury the pick here to be able to counter the Phantom Lancer. I don't think it is anymore, particularly because going a Mjolnir, right, you can just put the active onto whatever hero the PL goes on, and then that's a lot of damage being dished out to Adroit.
True, but having I think building Battle Fury on Troll if there's no mag on your team is still justified.
Oh yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Magnus is getting close to his Blink Dagger, about to 6. Like, he's just stacking the jungle whenever he can, so Troll will get items more quickly, and he will get a portion of that gold as well for himself.
Yeah, doing pretty damn well. I mean, 12 minutes, and he's only 500 gold away from a Blink Dagger. And he's nearly level 6 too. Pretty decent. You can see here a lot of the same heroes being recycled with the Centaur, and I believe the Chen being picked in all 3 games.
Yes. Every single time for TNC.
Yes. And it was 2, 1 of each, I think, with the Void Spirit. Unless I'm mistaken. I very well.
Right.
Oh, and I get stunned up by a neutral creep. Still should be doing okay, getting closer and closer to that Diffusal Blade, but it looks like they're pretty keen, wanting to fight. They don't have the reverse polarity just yet, but they're going to be able to take out Ana, you would think. In the meantime, yeah, not having the Hand of God available on March just yet, and looks like he'll be going down as well.
They didn't even have to pop the RP after they were already winning the game. I mean, Phantom Lancer decided to take a fight, even though they're not ready to fight yet. No Diffusal Blade. Phantom Lancer has really weird power spikes. Like, he gets Diffusal Blade, he's extremely strong, wants to participate in fights if they want to secure the tier 1 towers, but then after that he just wants to farm, get Manta Style to have a build in the spell, and also wants to build that heart after to tank up.
Yeah, and they were fighting underneath an Observer Ward the entire time, so on top of the fact that you've had these weird power spikes, it's also the fact that you didn't even have the vision, you didn't have the teammates to be able to back you up. It was just a little bit of a weird fight to be taking.
Yeah. Mars has Blink Dagger, which means that he wants to take a fight. Ogre and Midas. Let's see if that's a multicast. Actually did not see if it was.
Yeah. If you go for these, talk about these early power spikes as well. Oh, gonna run in with the smoke into Ocarino here. Doesn't look like they'll be able to pick him off. They're using the disruption onto the Mars, but that'll be a dead Shadow Demon. It's not too bad though for your position 5 to tank that that gank, but the lane's pushed down as well. So unless they pop this glyph, they're probably going to be maybe taking some damage into the tower. But they're actually TPing towards the top side, realizing that Natsumu was pressuring their tier 2 in turn.
Adroit was like, screw this bottom tower, we're gone. We just want to leave it alone, pressure the mid and the top lane, but TNC was also like, we're not going to pressure it, we want to defend our towers, give Phantom Lancer more time. We're going to talk about Mac this game. He's also Void Spirit with some extra damage from Empower and 30 damage once he hits level 10 with the talent. Now that's going to be a lot of physical and magical damage on this hero. I always like the heroes that has the mixed damage.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's why I think we've been seeing a bit more of the Shadow Fiend recently, one of those great examples of the mixed damage. I'm thinking with TNC, they got a little bit, I want to say, unlucky with their items. You know, we talk about these different power spikes and the neutral items that came through. They got the Royal Jelly and the Mango Tree. So if they were wanting to take any sorts of team fights, they were already kind of 2 neutral items down, in a sense.
That's true. That's a very good observation.
But now that it's reached that 15-minute mark, you've got more to choose from. I noticed Mars didn't have anything equipped on him at the time. Mirana, she's getting gone on a little bit, having to use all 3 leap charges to get away and pop the Moonlight Shadow. But, she should be okay for now. It's still the tier 2 tower lost on the top side though, and does that open up this Roshan to be taken?
They pressured the bottom tower, Ana got it, also finished his Diffusal Blade. They tried to make a rotation on a mid lane, but they were ready to defend that one. With the Yule Scepter, now he has something to take care of himself, also can dodge a couple of spells with it.
There you go, Natsumi, he's very confident that he can take this Roshan solo. He's got the Empower onto him as well, so he shouldn't have any sort of issues. Although I thought his team was going to be creating some space around him. Maybe just wanting a little bit more of that security before he takes a lot of this, before he fully commits.
He has that Morbid Mask, which will allow him to lifesteal of it and pretty much be full HP. Arrow connects.
Full arrow onto the Centaur. They've set up a little bit of a barrier as well in front of the Roche Pit with this Void Remnant. Ana still sitting on the bottom side, so biding his time to be able to come and join this fight, if he even does in the end. TNC just wanting to delay as much as he can. You can see KP perhaps trying to take the outpost so that Ana could have something to TP to, but not able to do it in time. KP, he's walking back, trying to get something happening for himself, but no, it's another 2 heroes being picked off. They're going for more as well. Mars being picked off by the Yule Scepter. Nothing used just yet in terms of big cooldowns to be able to pick him off. Nice stun coming through to buy him just another couple of seconds of time. But still
look at the bottom,
down.
tier 3 tower. Ana putting a lot of pressure. I mean, he's not joining team fights, but this should be a free Roche for Android.
I think he's got his ultimate orb, or no, a Yasha flying out to him on Ana, so it's a little bit more of a power spike here. Could he look to join in on this backside here? Boomy gets a nice RP onto Tim's. Not sure if you want to use it onto the position for Mirana solo, but now you've got Ana coming in, who's much more of a threat. Just wanting to create space, I suppose, for Natsumi here. And, well, are they going to want to take the fight? You can see Ana, he's turned-tailed and run.
I don't mind using RP like that to get a kill. They were not ready to take a team fight after Centaur's low, no mana. Also, same goes for Troll. So they just wanted to get a kill, reset. They still have that Aegis, which they just picked up. And I love the build on Centaur. Straight into Crimson Guard. This item was not that popular. I mean, it got nerfed as well, but against the Phantom Lancer, against Mars, it's going to be super effective.
And they changed it around a little bit, right? They removed the recipe, or they reduced the cost by 200 or something like that?
And they removed the recipe and reduced the cost by 200. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more value to go it early on, knowing that, you know, what it builds into, you do have a lot of flexibility. But still about 200 gold away from picking up this Crimson Guard. Obviously going to be extremely effective if he gets it in the near future. Oh, they've caught out the Phantom Lancer here. Going to pop the Moonlight Shadow to be able to pick him off. He's got the Dust used onto him, and a bunch of heals used onto Ana. They actually don't have the Hand of God even leveled up onto the Chen, which is a little bit weird, you know. 1 value point to be able to make your Chen, your PL survive could be a big game changer for him.
I don't know what March is doing. If this is the first time that I actually see it. Not getting ulti on Chen. Interesting. Also, there's no synergy in the item build on side of TNC. You have Mars, who picked up a Blink Dagger, which means that he wants to fight. And you have Ogre, who has Hand of Midas, so he's just farming right now. Phantom Lancer will not join fights. He wants to be on a different side. You have Chen and Mirana. Seems like everyone is just farming at the moment. So this Blink Dagger and Mars pickup is not that effective.
Yeah, it's essentially 2,000 gold wasted, as well as the gold on this Mirana as well, right? Like, if you've got this Ogre and the PL that just want to farm for now, then a Spirit Vessel's not going to gain too many charges with only 3 heroes. They've gone in, used the Mars ultimate here just to actually run away, it seems. The root getting put onto Armel here. He might be in a little bit of trouble, and the blink forward and stun from Buccarino should be able to pick him up, or he's going to be able to survive. The Hand of God just a little bit short from being able to be put up for him, and really nice RP coming out there. Will he be able to pick up March? Yes, eventually he does go down. Natsumi was forced to use the ultimate there, but Aegis, he's still able to run away with it.
It's a lot of slow coming on from Ogre. Arrow connects on Void Spirit.
Nice disruption.
They need to reset. Troll popped the ulti, kept himself alive, still have that Aegis for another 2 minutes and 40 seconds. He's thinking about his next item. Do I go for the Fusel Blade? He was saving the gold. Now he instantly buys one of the better ones you can get since you don't go for Battle Fury. You have the free one coming out from your mag. They need the tier 3 items on this troll. He has Faded Brooch.
Yeah. They need something on him, you know. What do they even got that they could give him? Pupil's Gift, I guess? Or, I mean, Ocean Heart would surely be better for him, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, he doesn't need that much mana. Move speed is good. Like, once he pops Phase Boots with these items, he's at max movement speed. But whatever tier 3 item drops, he should definitely swap it out.
Yeah, I'm with this. Oh, want to get too far into things, considering it looks like Adroit, they're pretty keen on taking a fight up here, at least pressuring Armel out of the lane. Here, Yules go off here. Mac tried to get something going off onto Tim's, and he's forced to run away. Uses all 3 leap charges, but it's not going to be enough. Dust used onto him. He's going to go down. The pressure continues. You can see the line drawn right in the mid lane by the Centaur. He wants to continue the aggression and take this tier 2 tower.
And once again, Ana is going to be on the bottom lane. Just pressuring the tower, playing with the siege creep. If they show on the mid lane, he will start playing more aggressively.
Yeah. Although you got the Void Spirit here, he's going to push out this lane, and all that work that Ana did immediately reduced to nothing.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
The fact that you're able to put that much net worth into Mac on his Void, as well as take that tier 2 tower, that has to be a huge win for Adroit. Aegis does expire though, so they have to be a little bit more cautious about how they progress.
This Void Spirit with Empower and Astral Step, cleave on the illusions, like Phantom Lancer, he definitely needs that heart to tank up. Otherwise, it's gonna be... These illusions are gonna disappear so quickly.
Oh, Bok might be in a position to get caught out here. He tries to use the TP, but that should be enough to be able to take him down. You can see the rotation coming through from Adroit. They were trying to move in quickly enough, but it just dies way too. One big change that I'm interested to see how teams adapt to it is the... Oh no, there's a team fight happening again. It's Mars that gets caught out. He's not even going to get off any of his abilities. Finally, the Hand of God gets used by the Chen. They've been able to pick off this troll onto the side here, but nice use of the disruption to be able to stop a lot of the aggression from coming out, forcing the battle trance, and nice kite from Tim's, able to kite him further into TNC territory, and now they're in a position to perhaps take him down. He's very, very low on mana. That Diffusal Blade coming in real handy. Disruption already being used onto Armel, so it's not being able to use in a defensive capacity to save Natsumi. Down he goes, and here, this might be the timer that TNC needed to start to put the aggression onto this mid lane.
Oh, that damage.
Just gives him the backhand.
Ogre Magi doing a good job just controlling the backlines, not allowing Mag to blink in. And they decided to take a fight with no Centaur, which I think is a huge mistake. He's the one building the auras, has the guaranteed stun. This Vlad's on Troll. If he's not Spirit Vessel, like the actual lifesteal, this is a big one in a team fight where you're fighting against PL.
Yeah, reduces a lot of that threat coming through. KP's been caught out by the clumsy net. Will they be able to catch up Bok? I'm not sure if this is the team fight you want to take now. Knew that he was kind of alone previously, but now he's got the rest of his team to immediately back him up, and could be something that costs them. He's speared back underneath the tier 2 tower, so that's going to be a lot of damage that's passively coming out onto these TNC heroes, but Armeli's gonna just try and walk away. Not gonna happen.
Roche may respawn in 30 seconds. Lanes are pushed in on the Android side, so they need to address this problem first.
The prize is mine.
Alright, so this is a little bit more like C Dota, right? Yeah, I feel like we've had a lot of kills in the past 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm entertained.
Alright, a Craggy Coke gets picked up. That'd be pretty decent for KP to have. You know, he's playing this role where you're just standing in on the front lines, making sure that the Magnus isn't going to, like you said, link in an RP onto everyone. So that little bit of extra survivability is going to come in very handy.
Either give that to Mars or to Ogre. I still can't believe they don't have a good tier 3 item for Troll.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
My thanks will come later, when you least remember how foolish you looked.
And some issues, and he's back.
He's back. We're back. We're good. So, yeah, like you have to be in a much more vulnerable position to use those items, and we might see some more interesting item choices now. You know, they're not just instant picks. You could still see CML still going for the 4-star because it's an insane item, but opens up the door for other possibilities.
Max Roche will respawn in 20 seconds. This is where the next big fight will happen.
Armel, oh, he just gets away. Able to TP out before that Void Remnant picks him up. Alright, we've got a double damage as well, so that's 5 seconds until Roshan respawns. Who's going to spot it out first? You would have to think it's Adroit. They're hanging around the area. They know that it's such a big timing for them. Troll's hit onto his level 20 as well, so that's an extra 40 damage that he's able to get. And yeah, instantly they're going to walk in and do it. It gets first hit bash though.
On top of double damage. He's sitting at 500 right now.
Yeah.
Once again, bottom lane is pushing in.
Pushing in on its own. This time though, Ana, he's in the vicinity. He's able to take a team fight if he wants. They've spotted out the fact that Roshan's very low. Ana a little bit too late though. Armel, he's got off a pretty nice Ring of Blood, but it's going to be able to do too much in this team fight. Ana, he's looking for the right time to go in and finish this off. Centaur sitting very, very low, having to use the disruption to try and save him, and he comes out to me. He's still got a couple of seconds left on that double damage, so he's going to do as much as he can. Nice crowd control coming through though from KP to try and stop a lot of this coming through. Or nearly connected onto 2 with that RP, but only hit the Ogre Magi. KP there would have been huge if they got it onto KP, but not quite enough. This is a long team fight, but very few deaths. Only the Shadow Demon going down so far, and Natsby still sitting very, very healthy. Finally picks off KP. Tims, he's only got 1 charge left of that leap, having to use it. Ana sitting very, very low. He's hit up onto his level 20, so he's got that Phantom Rush range for that extra kite ability. Will they continue onto the Earth? The Void Spirit doesn't seem like they're all that keen to. And they go, going very aggressively in onto the backline is Ana. His insane plays continue. Missing with the arrow though. A little bit unfortunate. Natsumi, he's caught inside the Ring of Blood once more, and he's going to be going down. Just that long that you could get 2 Arena of Bloods in one single team fight is absolutely nuts to me. Mac, he's sitting very, very low, goes down, no cheese on him. Troll, he might be the only one that's able to get away. Arne's continue to chase him down though. But happy to finally pressure him away. That is a long-ass team fight.
The mana burn coming out from Phantom Lancer is much more significant than the one on Troll. All the illusions burning mana, which doesn't allow Adroit to take a fight. Also not allowing Mag to get a good RP once again. Him with the illusions and Ogre just controlling him in the back lines. And they don't have anything against the Butterfly at the moment. I see Troll Warlord queued up MKB.
Is it Rapier time?
It could be.
That True Strike. The huge thing for TNC from that previous fight as well is that basically all of the experience gained from it went to Ana. So we went from level 19 up to level 22 now in the space of one team fight.
Well, what do you think about Enchanted Quiver that was not picked up? I mean, it gives True Strike to ranged attackers.
Yeah. So, Tim's, yeah. wait, with the... Are you talking Quiver on Adroit's side to be able to attack onto the Battle Furiana?
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah, they didn't pick it up, and now it's back in the Dire base, so they're not even going to be able to do it. Got the Satanic built up here on Natsumi, so a little bit more of that survivability. He's actually got the Rapier queued up as well after his BKB. And that's a really big kill on the Courier there to be able to take out a Plate Mail. A lot of extra survivability coming through, and that would have been the Shivas? No, still sitting at about 1,000 in gold away.
I would say Adroit is very unlucky with the neutral drops this game.
He's still sitting on that Faded Brooch. Surely, does he just not want to get kited? Is that it? He just wants the movement speed?
I mean, he is getting kited.
Yeah.
That's
He's
a
picked
full
up that
BKB.
BKB now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Maybe that's the big...
Radiant
Item.
structures are fortified.
Still, Phantom Lancer can attack him. Basher is ready on Phantom Lancer.
I'm really liking this positioning as well from KP and IML, the two tankiest heroes on TNC's side, standing on the entrances to the high ground, realizing that that's where the threat was going to come from and popping the smoke and negating a lot of the pressure that was going to come through from Adroit. So, it's been a bit of a roller coaster of a match, you know. At the 20-minute mark or so, it was looking like Adroit's game. They were pushing in, they'd taken all of the towers, and now it's looking much more strong for TNC.
The game was pretty even, but now with the BKBs being picked up, the one on Mars, the Butterfly on Phantom Lancer, they don't have the tools to address this problem.
Ag's Scepter on Mars. Just wanting to get those God's Rebukes off as much as he can inside of the arena.
Oh, it's not just inside of the arena anymore.
Yeah,
in general.
so 3.5 seconds.
My thanks will come later, when you least expect it.
Looks like the pace of the game has definitely changed a little bit. You could see previously Adroit were very, very keen to take any team fight as much as they could, but now they're clumping up together. They're not actively searching for TNC. They're just sitting back, trying to get that next couple of items up onto their course. Centaur doesn't even have a neutral item.
Yeah, that's how bad of a neutral item situation is on their side.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's TPing back. Surely he picks up something. Come on, buddy. Pick up the Ocean Heart. Arcane Ring. Anything. Another cheeky little one of these. You see this Observer Ward here that they're trying to de-ward here on TNC's side? It was placed on that, like, mid-high ground, so you can't see it when you place just the sentry up there. Yeah. Arrow flies in, doesn't connect onto anyone, and they're going to look to put some pressure here onto Ana. He gets put down pretty low very early on, and they're able to pick him off. 760 gold going the way of Mac, and they're going to continue the pressure. They know they can't fight without Ana, and just that little bit too aggressive, wanting to take out the last tier 2 tower that's available for them, and they're able to pick off KP as well.
This is why Yule Scepter is the best item you can get on Warfare for setting things up like this. And there's no real save. They pop the Hand of God, but it's not enough. Roche may respawn in a minute and 30 seconds, so they can't get anything out of this. They should try to rush down on a mid lane. Chen trying to delay this push as much as possible. Also bottom lane, couple of creeps plus creep wave. Doing more pressure on it, and here comes Mac once again. He also has that Radiance build against the PL and the Illusions. KP buyback.
It's somewhat of a wasted buyback, though. You know, not taking any heroes down with him. That's a big loss. As your position 3, you want to make sure you're being really impactful with that, as are any of the cores. Maybe just wanted to use the Midas one more time, you know? Well, what's the next big timings? What's either team waiting for? I'm thinking you could see March is trying to go for some Greaves on his side. Trying to remove some of the aggression, perhaps, that gets put onto him.
And these are not the big items. The big one on the Phantom Lancer is this Satanic, if you can get it, but they're waiting for their next Roche to spawn. It's the 3rd Roche, so it might be either Refresher or Ags.
Yeah. And that Radiance on the Void Spirit as well is going to do a lot against these. Always gone forward very aggressively. They're trying to pick off Ana, and they've actually found the right one. So they're going to continue the aggression onto him, and will he be picked off here? Looks like it. He didn't buy back previously, so he still does have it in his arsenal, but got this time around a creep wave that's kind of pushing in pretty aggressively. It's going to be very, very tough. He's going to want to wait until the very last second to want to buy back here on Ana. That'll be their last stand. And you can see the army of couriers coming out as well on Adroit's side, just bringing TP scrolls actually, because they're lacking a few of them. Thanks to the arrow, but still they're not wanting to fight just yet.
There it is, the combo. Multi-shot plus Bloodlust.
Well, KP, this is going to be a dieback when he eventually goes down. They use the buyback on Ana. It's a long TP in though, having previously gone into it. Will he be able to pick up Bocarino? It looks like they will, but it's a small price to pay to force that buyback out of Ana.
They need to get Roche right now. This buyback on Ana, if he dies, he's their damage dealer. Like, they can't afford to lose him.
Roshan's going to respawn in 50 seconds time. Nearly having enough for this Rapier as well on the Troll Warlord, getting closer to his level 25 too. So those combos that might get put onto him, the strong Dispel, could be pretty fantastic for him to have. Although, could you potentially go the Whirling Axes as well? Like, they're both such strong ones. Just because the Whirling Axes this time around with the PL, I feel like it would do a fair amount against that to stop a lot of the damage coming through, and that seems like where the majority of the damage is coming through from TNC.
If you decide to go for the Axes, like Phantom Lancer just gets Doppelganger cooldown on level 25, and then the Axes are not that great.
Yeah. Well, there's the Roche. It's back up, and they've spotted it out here on Boomy. They've got an Ag Scepter as well sitting in here onto him, so be big for whoever it is that picks him up. Who would you give it through to? Maybe, I mean, you would have to give it to the Void Spirit, right?
Oh, definitely the Void Spirit.
They actually connect the arrow onto Roshan instead, and Tims, he's been caught out. Gets the push away, but it's not going to be enough to be able to survive, or will it? They actually get the Arena of Blood. Yeah, onto Mac here. They've got the arrow as well. It's going to connect onto... Oh, no one, actually. It stopped just short of the Magnus, and they popped the BKB on Natsumi as well. This is huge. They've got no buyback on either of these Radiant heroes, and Roshan, he's sitting at about 50% HP and ripe for the picking.
Man, Ana is so good on Phantom Lancer. Unbelievable. Done this game. The previous Roche fight, and this one, he had an easy job, but still this... managed to clean them up, about to hit level 25. With that Aegis, they also gave him Aghanim Scepter.
Alright, here we go. We've got level 25 Ana, level 25 Troll Warlord. we've got more items that can drop now at the 40-minute mark, so maybe Troll will finally get an upgrade off this Faded Brooch.
A Troll needs to buy that Divine Rapier. Like, he can't afford to keep this much gold in his pockets not being used.
Is that his courier sitting above the secret shop?
Let me check. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So he's pretty keen to try and make it happen.
Radiant's middle tower
He bought a Basher.
So not going for the rapier.
middle tower has fallen.
A bit more of the passive build. They've got Void Spirit up in another 10 seconds, so able to try and make something happen. I think they might want to force the buyback. Yeah, here we go, out of this Shadow Demon. It's not going to be enough to fully force back TNC, you would think. They're happy. They're taking the small victories away, maybe wanting to secure some of those tier 4 items for themselves, make sure that they've got them, strangle Adroit inside their base, and have that relatively stronger team fight as a result of it.
Poor Troll still has that Faded Brooch in his inventory.
Yeah, and now they've even put the Timeless Relic onto the Void Spirit, so the Pupil's Gift's available if you wanted to grab it. Always pretty handy to have that little bit of extra strength for yourself.
Centaur doesn't even have an item at the moment.
What did you just get? Witless Shaco. Such a garbage item for him.
Huh.
He's gone for one last one. Will he be able to get something decent? Nothing just yet. Just continuing to push out these waves. You can see Ana with that lower Doppelganger cooldown, wanting to pressure in onto this mid lane as much as he can. And you would have to think this might be the last team fight that happens. Closer and closer to that Abyssal Blade as well here on Natsumi. So if they pick out the right target, it'd be huge for them. Not fully committing with that Divine Rapier. Courier still sitting above the secret shop, not actually buying anything, just sending it back using the speed boost as well.
Problem is, if Magnus dies in a fight and he can't use Empower Control, this game's just over.
Alright, he's got the Dragon Scale instead of the Faded Brooch. Little bit of armor, get some of that burning.
Ooh, scary.
Ooh,
42
right.
minutes in.
Oh, no, Spider Legs instead. I mean, that gives him a bit of more maneuverability, right? Well, Bocarito, he's just walked straight into Armel here. He's got that God's Rebuke that he's going to be wanting to use. Surprised he didn't pop up the Arena of Blood when that Stampede was used. Stops the Blink Dagger just before it's able to get out. They Ignite as well, stopping any sort of Blink rotation from happening. This could be a great place to use the Arena of Blood as well to catch them out in this little choke point, but no, Bocarino looks like he'll be dropping down here. Slowly but surely, 5,000 HP, still not enough to stop this onslaught.
Phantom Lancer with that Aghanim Scepter, no cooldown.
Oh, he's gone in deep. Got down pretty low. He still does have the Aegis, so he's playing a little bit dangerously. He's got the Abyssal Blade as well if he wanted to try and survive. So there it goes. He goes down once. Will he be able to do it again?
RP's ready.
Yeah. Sitting off to the side. Waiting for the perfect time here.
Shadow Demon is doing a good job in the past 10 minutes, just using Disruption offensively on these illusions. That's a lot of damage, a lot of confusion as well. But they need to be careful. If someone gets caught, Disruption will be on cooldown.
Well, you can see here what could be another huge play. You can see KP's queued up the Sheep Stick. So if he gets a multicast on that, that would be a pretty hilarious way to end the game. He's still holding on to that cheese as well, so maybe wanting to hand that over to Ana pretty soon. Ana still having the magic wand in his inventory. Building into that Satanic there. He's got the Prince's Knife, so wanting that that Hex picked up. Just for the initial burst, I suppose, onto someone.
If you can cut into backlines, maybe kill Shadow Demon first. If Mars goes in, creates a lot of confusion with the arena. This is the target that he wants to kill.
Yeah. Natsumi, he's only about 400 or so gold away from picking up that Divine Rapier. So, should be looking to farm up these creep camps, perhaps. They used a smoke on Adroit's side to be able to make that little foray forward, but doesn't look like they continued on with it. Just, it feels like the space that they've got to play with on Adroit's side is so small relative to TNC. Win probability sitting at 77% right now for TNC, but it's the Dota, it can go anyway.
Also, Mirana is building a hex, so these 2 hexes plus a multicast could make a big difference.
Yeah.
You're gonna hex the
already
whole
got the Solar
team.
Crest. Yeah. Oh, well, there's the Rapier. He's picked it up on the Troll. Looking pretty keen to take a team fight in the short future. He's just destroying all of these trees right now. Who's going to catch who? I think that's the name of the game.
If they can jump on a real Phantom Lancer, which is hard, like they can insta-kill him. Soul Catcher also extremely effective. We didn't talk about that spell against the illusions, even though it's dispellable.
Yep.
It still deals a lot of damage, and it's just a good way to deal with the illusions.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the PL not opting to go for the heart this game? He's going into the Satanic instead. Do you feel like that's the play, and do you feel like he's been enabled to do that because of the Shaco that he's holding right now?
Shaco allows him to be more tanky, but he picked it up a couple of minutes ago. Here it comes.
Here we go. Well, the big nothing gets used. Natsumi, he's forced to rotate back with his BKB already used, so it was only an Arena of Blood used here on Armel's side, so would they be happy to just tick down this BKB? It's already down to the 5-second mark. They'll have about a 10-second or so window where they'll have the Arena of Blood but no BKB. Maybe that's the timing TNC are hoping for.
Next Roche may respawn in 30 seconds. They're just controlling the map. Lanes are in a good condition for them. They also have a gem, so getting rid of all the vision. Right now they have no observer boards, and Droid is playing into black map.
Yeah. It's not looking good for them. They previously had this little Radiant Tri-Camp area, but not so much anymore. Just quickly realizing that that was the last bastion of safety that they had outside of their base. And the case, a minute 20 until Roche is going to respawn, and will TNC decide to play it safe? Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder task for them if they're able to secure that 4th Roshan. Mirana sitting with the Quickening Charm on her, and the Arcane Rune actually, so that's a lot of cooldown.
What's the cooldown? 6 seconds on Arrow?
Yeah, pretty nuts. Oh, speaking of Mirana though, she's getting gone on by this Mac here. There's a really nice use of the Remnant, using it to delay it a little bit, just realizing that she was going to try and jump away. Eventually forced to use all of the leap charges. Decent to use it once you've already got the Quickening Charm there, so it's going to cool down a little bit quicker, you would think. Oh no, actually it doesn't affect the cooldown time, my bad. But getting closer and closer towards that that Hex, of course. Ogo could pick it up if he wanted to, just wanting to save for the buyback.
If he sells the Midas, he should have enough for buyback and full Hex. I think Hex is a must-have in this situation. We're playing against the Troll with the Divine Rapier.
Yeah. Do you think it's just one of those cases of, oh, maybe just one more Midas? Maybe one more after that.
Could be.
He just wants to get that max value.
This is the last one. Let's see.
Here we go. Arrow launches into the pit, connects onto poor Roche. We've got a smoke coming through onto the top side. They'll try and take this outpost to stop a lot of the buyback potential occurring within this team fight. They've caught out KP sitting here on the front lines. He's got that Midas that he can use, but there's no creeps around. He's disarmed, and he's in a very vulnerable position as well. He's going to be able to get off his pipe. Perhaps he's still holding onto the cheese as well. There we go. March is the one that's going to end up going down. They connect with the arrow onto Bocarino, but I don't think he's in a position to really go down all too much. He's sitting right on the edge. Yeah, gets 4 stuff down into safety. sitting at level 25 as well, so he's got that big hoof stop rotation if they decide to move forward. It doesn't seem like the case.
These fights are so long, no one wants to like fully commit. Mars just using ulti doesn't care too much about it.
And we can see Adroit, they're the ones prioritizing the Roshan a lot more strongly. Oh, they actually connect with the arrow onto him, going past Roshan. He's still going to live. He's got the lifesteal coming through from the Satanic, and that Divine Rapier means that he's sitting precariously. He's already been disarmed, having to use the ultimate to get out of this team fight, but that opens up Roche for TNC to be able to take it now. Ana using a doppelganger.
5-second arrow, but the status resistance build from Sanjin Yasha and the Satanic lowering it by almost 50%. Roche dropping low.
I think they just accidentally used Satanic onto this Troll Warlord, so he's not going to have that up for another 25 seconds. That could be absolutely game-changing considering Roshan's sitting at about 25% HP.
He's fine. Has ulti to work with. Satanic will go off cooldown.
The arrow in onto the Troll Warlord. Still sitting on only 5 items here on the Mirana, so not wanting to spend anything, give away what his next plan of action could be. It's another smoke. Smoke on smokes here happening. Double Void Remnants inside the pit. Maybe just using the illusions to clear out some of the space. Oh, that's a long hoop stop rotation. RP! That's onto 2. Yeah, Chan's gonna go down. KP forced to use the buyback. They didn't end up taking the outpost entirely, so KP able to have some sort of an impact in this fight. Ana, he's continuing to move forward, trying to take out as much of the team as he can, but he's going to go down. 2 minutes on the sidelines, but he buys back Armel. He's in the middle of 5 different heroes here in a precarious position. 15 seconds left on his Satanic, which will make him maybe able to live if he's able to get it off one more time. Ana, just a few more seconds until he's able to get back in. Maybe he's just saying, look, continue to carry out all this space. I'm trying to take Roshan. I use my buyback. I need to be able to have this, but Tim's, he's standing in on the front lines. He wants to take up a lot of this. Down it goes. Yeah, he picks it up. He's still got the refresher shard inside the pit. That'd be huge to have. He uses the Abyssal onto the Void Spirit, who jumped in, trying to take a lot here. He's able to use the... he uses it onto the same spot and picks it up. So big plays coming out from both teams here. And still, it's a bit of a stalemate. No Divine Rapier being dropped. Buybacks being used by TNC, but when you're picking up that Aegis, it's not too bad.
And they still have all the Raxes being alive, so not one lane is being pushed in naturally. 2 buybacks used from TNC. They caught the Phantom Lancer. If they just can isolate and find the real one, Troll will insta-kill him. He has this Basher, he has True Strike, so he doesn't care too much about the Butterfly anymore.
Alright, here we go. I think looking to pick up the Abyssal Blade on the Troll Warlord. He'll leave him without buyback if he does, so you're trying to farm up just that little bit more.
Right now, you're looking to kill Ogre in a fight. You do not want him to multicast Sight, Fire Blast, also getting closer to level 5, even though he's hard to kill.
Yeah.
He's sitting on 15 armor, almost 4,000 HP with the Disarm and the Mischance.
Here we go. Just enough time, money to be able to have the
I mean, you're not wrong.
Well.
Time is money.
Yes, exactly. And, well, let's see if Adroit want to make something of it. Do they have any smokes available? They've been pretty active in using them around these team fights, so it's a conundrum. They might just be happy to sit onto this high ground, maybe try and pick someone off with the Abyssal Blade initiation. And Ana's actually backpacked the Diffusal Blade, so all these other items obviously having much more of a big impact. And just on your point as well with targeting KP, if he goes down, not only are you saving yourself from that Scythe of Vice AoE potential, but he used buyback in the previous fight, so
yes,
he will not be rejoining the fight.
That's why they gave him cheese once again. Arrows.
Brought up a Ghost Scepter as well.
Level 25 Mirana. 2 multi-shot arrows. It's not just the stun, it's also the vision that you provide in a team fight.
Yeah. They fought a little bit between each other here on Adroit, but able to get away. Going down just yet. This game is really going down to the wire, even though it seems like TNC have got a strong hold on it. Is it getting to the stage where 60-minute tier 5 items could be a factor?
They might wait for it. But with that Aegis, like if he dies twice, he's not gonna have another buyback for 4 minutes. So maybe they're just waiting for another minute or two, then team fight, and he will have buyback once again.
Yeah. Still just use the spider legs here on Troll. Good for the turn rate as well, I suppose, but definitely not the sort of thing that you want to have 56 minutes into the game. It lets him get rid of his boots, I suppose. Oh, here we go. This could be the rune that they needed. Double damage here. Being picked up by Ana. Checking Roche, but still a few minutes away.
Even Void Spirit queued up Divine Rapier.
Yeah. They're going all in here. Ana, only a minute left on this Aegis, so be pretty careful. As we were saying before, no buyback, so any sort of death that happens straight afterwards is be a absolute disaster for them. It'll be game ending if Ana goes down without buyback, without Aegis. I actually just noticed the person that was able to pick up all the items. So Cheese went to Ogre, Ags went to Ogre, Aegis went to PL, but Magnus got the Refresher Shard. So there's the potential for 2 RPs in the next team fight.
And he's building Refresher Orb for himself, still far away from it. Has that Shadow Blade to work with, which will allow him to position himself better. Mirana has the gem. These 2 hexes on Mirana and Ogre could change things around, but it's how efficiently they're gonna use them. If they can pop them pre-BKB, then kite around the Troll, because this Troll is so hard to take down in just like 1 initiation. There's no real burst damage.
We've nearly got KP hitting up into his level 25 as well, so that multicast from the Fire Blast is going to be pretty nuts. Unrefined, obviously not getting the burst, the bonus damage from it, but still, the additional lockdown, always helpful to have. And this Troll is so rich. Still sitting on another 6,000 gold. Is it the point where you buy a second rapier for yourself?
That's a good question. I mean, what he can do is he can get another rapier, lock it down in his backpack, and then swap a BKB out, get another Divine Rapier during mid-fight.
Tim's, he's in a bit of a rough spot, able to get away just in time though. Great presence of mind to be able to leap away just as Natsumi came into range and targeting that that Sacred Arrow into where they were probably going to be smoking, and it did end up connecting onto Bocarino. So some great plays coming out individually from a lot of these different players here.
Even though they're 20k ahead, they still didn't kill a single barracks, and they're respecting this mag with the Refresher.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Building up into... What do you think's the play here? With is that an Octarine on Ana?
I see Octarine core. What's the cooldown at the moment? 5 seconds. Huh. If you're gonna get another item to lower the cooldown just to keep spamming it, maybe that's the play.
Yeah, gonna go down to 3.75 seconds, I believe. Well, they're getting pretty aggressive, standing here forward, and it's just before the 60-minute mark as well, so if they wait just that little bit longer, you've got the potential for some of these game-ending items. Well, they're going in really deep here on Mac. Is he going to get caught out here? He gets pinned to the tree, but looks like they're happy to run, and early BKB popped as well by Bok. Oh, lucky bash coming through there from Ana, but not just yet. They don't want to continue to take this team fight, or do they? That Spirit Lance is going to bounce between a couple of different heroes and continue to cause some aggression here. You can see Boomy pushing back further and further with that skewer, just trying to run as much as they can, but here we go. Could this be the team fight that they need? They've gone in deep onto Ana here. Yeah, gets the bash, but still backing off. That Divine Rapier unable to do all too much just yet. 2 minutes left until the Roshan respawn. Here we go. We got a Seer Stone, we got a Mirror Shield. What else could we get? And are we going to get finally a good position 1 troll item?
We had the Faded Brooch for 40 minutes.
That's true.
That's a great item.
Oh, they've gone in onto Ana. This could be an absolute disaster. He's got the buyback available, but you don't want to be using it at this point. He's gone down. Oh, they've got to continue the aggression here onto Tims. He's gone down as well, so over 100 seconds on both heroes on the sidelines. Lane's somewhat pushed in mid, but on bot side, it's a lot more vulnerable for them.
9 out of 10 heroes have buyback at the moment. Surprisingly, have buyback. He just bought a full Mjolnir.
Box sitting on the front line. They're forcing the buyback out of the Mirana to start with. Ana, of course, you want him to be the big turner in these team fights, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case just yet. They're just trying to chip at these towers. Natsumi sitting on the backside. They get a double hex off, it seems, onto a few things. Natsumi, he's able to shake it off, though. Could this be the time for Ana to buy back? I think it's now or never if he's going to be able to. Maybe waiting until Mars goes down one time, just trying to delay it out as much as possible. Get a lot of these cooldowns done. Really nice disruption coming out here straight after the Hex. And Mars, well, you might be locked in with them inside the Arena of Blood in a much more risky position. KB, he's going to buy back immediately, but man, this is a lot of space and time being got for Ana. He finally is forced to buy back here. And now you can see Adroit starting to back off from the team fight. This arrow doesn't connect onto anyone. No, just misses out, able to sidestep it. And then going in one more time.
Gets nothing with
onto
RP.
anyone. Yeah, he's got the Refresher Shard if he wants to use it one more time. Could use it right where he's standing. But he's still got the Blink Dagger up online. He's sitting invisible at the moment. This could be the big turnaround in the team fight if he uses it. Oh, he's just walking up into him. He uses it, connects onto a couple. Could this be the burst down? Chan buys back. Mirana, no buyback, but they don't get the key cores. They aren't able to finish them off. Ana in a precarious position, able to walk back. He's on 28, level 28. He gets caught out with the Void Remnant. Everything is happening in these team fights. Max
So
trying to chase
low.
down Ana. They're so low, both of them. It's a game of chicken on both ends. Everyone is dying around except for Ana. He's able to get back into the base. He's sure he's going to buy up a health potion, try and join these team fights back as quick as he can. But in the meantime, they're taking out a lot of these different heroes. Chen goes down. It's Mars and PL against the world at this point. They've got the bottom racks. They're pushing into the mid. Natsumi still lives with this Divine Rapier.
If they can catch him, he's dead. There's the bash.
There's the bash. He goes down. That's it. They get it. The GG is finally called. 63 minutes into the game. Troll Warlord still holding the spider legs, but he didn't even need him. Divine Rapier is all that you need up in a game like this. Adroit beat TNC and move forward into the